Let's dive into the nitty-gritty.
Never on Tuesday, not to be confused with Never on Sunday or any movie that's actually good, was released on September 13th, 1989. Could not find budget, box office. I'm guessing there was no box office whatsoever. I'd be curious to see what the budget is. I'm guessing, I don't know, man, because we'll get into it in the quick facts, but like all of the stars who showed up, they all either got paid in scale or they got paid with favors or cocaine or, Charlie Sheen.
Winning.
But I would imagine it was all in one place pretty much. Mm-hmm. 250,000, 500,000, maybe.
Yeah, can't have been. I don't know how long it took. Did it say how long the shoot was?
Feel like it was shot within like 10 or 11 days or something like that. Yeah, all contained into one spot. So I can't imagine. We'll also get into it in the quick facts, but all of the stars had individual days that they showed up. So each, aside from the end with Cary Elwes and Emilio Estevez, everybody showed up on individual days and did their parts, and then that was it. That was their whole time on set. So I would imagine everything with those stars was shot in one day, and then all of the other bits were shot on the other days. So this was directed by Adam Rifkin, who seems to have made an entire career of "Aren't boobs cool?"
Yeah.
He also directed a movie called The Chase, which is the only movie that I really like that I've seen of his. It's kind of like a Charlie Sheen hidden gem, if you can call it that. It's a fun movie. It's kind of a fun like comedy, a little bit raunchy. He, like, kidnaps a girl and then she ends up, of course, falling in love with him because he's Charlie Sheen.
That's the one where they're on the run in the car, right?
Yep.
I think I watched that on TV when I was a kid, like made for TV movie.
It was on all the time way back in the day.
Yeah.
So it's still a fun movie. I haven't watched it in a long time, so please take that with a grain of salt. It might be just as shitty as Never on Tuesday. I haven't seen it in a long time. He also did Detroit Rock City, which actually got a lot of buzz and did pretty well about Kiss and all that stuff. And then The Last Movie Star. Most recently, he worked on a miniseries about Russ Meyer, who is like the king of sexploitation films. So that tracks. That's a perfect movie for him to do.
Yeah.
Boobs. Aren't they cool? This was written also by Adam Rifkin, who followed up this masterpiece with Going Overboard. Which has a 1.8 on IMDb, which I think is one of the lowest scores ever on IMDb. For context, Never on a Tuesday had a 4.5. So if that tells you how shitty Going Overboard is.
Wow.
The only thing I know of Going Overboard is in middle school. One of the guys on the bus that I rode had a VHS tape of some lesbian porno that he got from somebody. And we all took turns borrowing it, on the bus. And it was inside a Going Overboard sleeve. It's the only time I've ever heard of that movie, ever seen it on anything.
Wow.
So I just associate it with a shitty lesbian porn that was terrible even by 1990 standards before we had high-speed internet. But it's probably still more enjoyable to watch than Going Overboard.
Oh, definitely. Easily.
What a weird connection. Lesbian porn and Going Overboard. That guy also wrote this movie about a lesbian.
Yeah, sometimes there's just kismet in life, Anyway, that moment brought to you by the dark ages of pre-internet or pre-high-speed internet, where you had to do that kind of stuff to get exposure as a young man.
Yeah, it was tough times back in those days.
So just that cover of Adam Sandler with the water wings or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
It's burned in my mind.
It's hilarious.
Well, somehow after doing Never on Tuesday and Going Overboard, Adam Rifkin managed to keep a career and went on to write Small Soldiers and Mouse Hunt.
Yeah.
Small Soldiers, great. Mouse Hunt, garbage.
Mouse Hunt I love that movie when I was a kid. I watched that movie all the time.
That movie.
Do you think it would hold up now if you watched it? It would hold up as
I
well
would,
as the
I would
Chase.
probably still like it because of how much I watched it as a kid, but
Yeah.
no. I mean, it's got walking in it.
Oh my God, there's mice. 2 mice fell into a bucket of cream.
Nigel's
That's a different movie.
romantic evening is Boston Market frozen dinner and Mouse Hunt on the TV. 2 things I couldn't hate more.
Yeah. And then he wipes his ass with a copy of The Weatherman afterwards. His career was so horribly impacted by Going Overboard that he started writing under the pseudonym Riff Coogan for a bit.
Awesome.
So I don't know what he wrote under Riff Coogan. But yeah.
Probably straight.
I mean, it's just amazing that you can keep a career after Never on Tuesday and Going Overboard. I mean, I'm sure that they did okay in the like rental market or something.
Yeah.
Or just the morbid curiosity of like, Nicolas Cage is in this movie?
Skinamax, dude. Skinamax.
Like it's got a lasting legacy that nobody. It's like just the whole movie's on YouTube, so nobody's claiming it. Like I don't think it's like it hasn't fallen into public domain, but it kind of has, you know, because it seems like one of those things where no one claims ownership of it because they don't care. So
yeah. Even the director. We'll get into it in the quick facts, but even the director is just kind of like, who gives a fuck? Like, have at it. If you want to watch this piece of shit, go ahead. By all means. By the way, he was an executive producer. Adam Rifkin was an executive producer on Willy's Wonderland. So he's gone full circle.
Hell, really?
I was shocked to read that one. I was like, whoa, really?
wow.
Yeah.
All right.
He's like, yeah, I mean, why are we not making movies right now? Adam Rifkin has had a career that has spanned 4 decades. 5 decades. 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, 2020s. He's still fucking around.
I bet you have more money than Adam Rifkin. I bet you are much more successful.
Just living in a 1-bedroom in Hollywood somewhere.
Yeah.
I produced Willy's Wonderland.
People like
I'm a
Mouse
star. People really like Mouse Hunt. While he eats Boston Market in his apartment, one light on. This was shot by Alan Jones. The Chase is the only other thing that I recognize that he ever did. Funny tie-in, though. He was an assistant cameraman on Enemy Mine, but also a focus puller on A Christmas Carol, the movie, for those weird live-action scenes.
Oh, God.
Apparently, he worked on the camera crew.
So this guy just touches garbage, in other words.
Yeah.
That's all he touches.
Hey, he did The Chase. And Enemy Mine. You like Enemy Mine, right?
Touche. Sorry, my bad.
Edited by Ed Rothkowitz, who also edited the Who's The Kids Are All Right. It did a ton of TV with Picket Fences, Chicago Hope, and then also did Silent Night, Deadly Night 3, which is not the one with Garbage Day. That's Silent Night, Deadly Night 2. And also worked as an assistant editor on Midnight Cowboy. I will never understand how the system works, man. I don't know. So weird. How do you're like an assistant on Midnight Cowboy and then you end up editing Never on Tuesday. You got to take your break when you get it, but maybe
I guess nobody else would touch it, I guess.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I'll figure it out.
Like that guy who edited Dark.
That guy did it with a gun to his head. Shitter's like,
Edit it.
You're gonna edit
Make it the way I wanted it.
I'm
Get rid of the third act.
Successful one of these days.
Music by Richard Stone. If you listen to the music in this piece of shit, you will definitely think cartoon. So it's no shock that he went on to do mostly WB cartoons after this.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, the music is so cartoony and like goofy the whole way through. He wrote the music for Tiny Toons, Tasmania, Freakazoid, and Animaniacs.
Wow.
That's
he write
crazy.
the Freakazoid theme song? And the Animaniacs theme song?
I think he did. He did. He had like a co-writing credit on the Animaniacs one.
Wow.
Which is also crazy. That's a really memorable theme song. Which is crazy. But then he also scored Pumpkinhead.
Solid music in that one.
That is great music, yeah.
Yeah, it actually is pretty good music compared to this. The music did not fit this.
Not cartoony at all in Pumpkinhead.
Yeah.
Also was in the music department for Cujo, Top Secret. Top Secret makes sense. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Platoon, The Big Easy, Pretty in Pink, etc. But sadly, he died way too young. He was only 47 when he passed of pancreatic cancer. But already had a massive career at that point. If you think about those WB cartoons kind of painted our whole childhood.
Yeah, I was going to say his legacy is going to live on forever because Animaniacs is still one of the most recognizable theme songs out there.
Yeah.
Looney Tunes as well, so that's insane.
Yeah. And I still love Pumpkinhead. Talked about that movie a lot. I love that movie.
Yes, you have.
Ratings. Rotten Tomatoes score is a 0. There is nothing. There's no reviews from Rotten Tomatoes whatsoever. So I have just a big NA for that. Audience score, though, because audience can always vote, 38%, which is high. That's very high. Which is USS Indianapolis had a 30%. So I mean,
I enjoyed it more
think
than
I'd rather
USS
watch
Indianapolis.
You'd rather watch USS Indianapolis than this?
No. I'd rather. I mean, I would rather not watch either. But I think I enjoyed it more than USS Indianapolis.
At least this one's shorter.
Yeah,
It's way shorter.
this one's a little bit more. I don't want to use the word cohesive, but
it does flow and make more sense than USS Indianapolis. Yeah. Metacritic score, nothing, of course. IMDb 4.5 out of 10, which also feels really high. 4.5 out of 10.
I think people are just like they watched the cameos on YouTube and just rated the movie based on that.
I would give
fair,
the movie
that's the movie,
a 2
so.
just based on Cary Elwes. Fucking so stupid. How did he have a movie career after that? Well, that's when hot patootie happened there. Fucking stupid. And of course, A+ cinema score. It was released wide across the country. No, of course, no cinema score. So no cinema score, no Metacritic score, no Rotten Tomatoes score. That is the first time that's ever happened on this show. Yeah. The trifecta of awfulness.
Yeah.
Nobody.
This is like it's not even a direct to video. It's like a direct to nothing. Like there's no box office. Yeah. There's just nothing.
Yeah. I feel like it might have been just scrapped and put on a shelf, and then I don't really know how the Nick Cage cameo blew up and went viral. But that's the only reason I think anybody knows about this movie.
Yeah.
It wasn't on his credits for the longest time.
Well, we only know about it because of the AMA, right? That he did?
I think...
or did you know about it before that?
I knew about it because it was like released all over the place. It suddenly just popped up everywhere. And then Adam Rifkin did an AMA, and then Nick Cage was asked about it in an AMA after that. So I saw the clip and I was like, there's no way that this is real.